What if the deepest messages of your life were not spoken, but whispered? We are so focused on the obvious that we often miss the intricate dance of subtle communication happening all around us. Prepare to unveil a hidden language that shapes your reality and deepens your understanding of existence. This is a profound invitation to the awakening of consciousness. Let's go beyond the veil and uncover the language of the soul that the universe uses to communicate. You are about to discover that synchronicity is a conversation, and that your intuition is the most faithful of guides. Get ready to decipher the subtle signs and make self-knowledge a daily practice of listening. Self-knowledge is not about major breakthroughs, but about the refined ability to listen to what is silent. Spirituality is, above all, a practice of attention. Perhaps you are feeling an inner disconnection, an urgency to find more meaning in life. It is easy to get lost in the shouts of the everyday and feel that something essential has broken. All healing begins with accepting what hurts, and the pain of not being heard by the world is, often, the pain of not hearing ourselves. But life has a language of the soul that transcends the verbal. The universe is constantly speaking, sending us subtle signs, but are we truly listening? This journey is for those who feel a silent calling for more coherence and genuine connection. Beyond words, there exists an invisible symphony of whispers that shape our reality. As the great Sufi poet Rumi taught us, what you seek is seeking you. The search is not external, but a surrender to internal listening. It is time to sharpen our senses for this intricate dance of subtle communication. The world around us is constantly speaking, but are we really listening? The deepest communication does not always reside in what is said, but in the pause, the fleeting glance, the change in the environment, the subtle messages that shape our reality. Your body hears everything your soul whispers. The awakening of consciousness teaches us to explore the non-verbal signs that act as a mirror to our inner truth. Think of the metaphor of the candle that stays lit in the silence. It makes no noise, yet its light is a constant message. In the same way, our being communicates through energetic and behavioral manifestations. A shift in posture, a sudden restlessness, or even an unexpected external event can be the universe's first glances trying to guide us. Helena Blavatsky's theosophy reminds us of the principle that everything in the universe is interconnected, vibrating at different frequencies. What we perceive as outside is, in reality, a resonance of the inside. If we are misaligned, the world will send us echoes of misalignment. Recognizing this is the first step toward inner transformation. The whispers of life reach us through the body before they reach the rational mind. But this subtle language extends beyond the borders of our own body. The universe, in its totality, is a complex system of messages ready to be deciphered, manifesting both in nature and in the coincidences of life. Life is a complex system of messages. There is a universal language that manifests both in the domain of human interaction and in the narrative of nature. Observing the wisdom in animal behavior, the rhythm of the rain, or natural phenomena is practicing the listening of the soul. But the real challenge is in deciphering synchronicity. Are they just coincidences, or are they the cosmic subtle signs, as Rudolf Steiner said, showing us that there is a hidden wisdom operating behind matter? Synchronicity is the proof that the universe listens to you when you learn to listen to yourself. The river that teaches effortless fluidity does not fight the stones. It flows around them, honoring its own path. Spirituality invites us to do the same, to stop forcing the knot and simply let go. This is the principle of Taoism, where non-action, Wu Wei, aligns us with the flow of existence. When the mind stops chattering, life begins to rearrange itself for you. The language of the soul expresses itself through these perfect encounters in time and space. It is the dance between the visible and the invisible. The key to reading these external signs, whether they are a remarkable synchronicity or a pattern in nature, is not in the analytical mind, but in a source of wisdom that resides within us. We need an internal translator, the invaluable treasure of intuition. The most powerful decoder of life's whispers resides in our own chest. Intuition. It is not a guess, but the manifestation of silent wisdom in action. Trusting your gut feelings is honoring the sacred dwelling within your being, your internal temple. Krishnamurti dedicated his life to freeing the mind from conditioning. Intuition is precisely that voice free from fears and patterns of the past. It manifests subtly, in dreams and symbols that reveal the hidden meanings of our subconscious. Your feelings, your emotional resonance, act as powerful detectors of subtle energies. It is the compass that points to your deepest self-knowledge. It is not about seeking answers, but about reconnecting with what Ramana Maharshi called the I Am, the pure and unconditional presence, free from the ego and its narratives. When you are present, the fertile void settles in, and it is in that space that intuition becomes audible. The simplicity of just being is the greatest key to wisdom. Honoring this whisper of life is honoring yourself. This intuition, however, is like a flame that needs to be protected. For this inner compass to remain alive and audible, the cultivation of presence is essential. The next step is not to seek answers, but to learn to quiet down and create space for wisdom to reveal itself. To sharpen your perception and hear the whispers of life, it is essential to cultivate presence. Mindfulness in daily life is not a complicated technique, but kindness to the now. It is the power of silent observation, learning simply to be and absorb. Rudolf Steiner brought a vision of spiritual science that honors the development of consciousness. He encourages us to constant inner work, where the act of documenting the subtle messages you receive, through reflective writing in a journal, becomes a tool for spiritual awakening. By writing, you externalize the symbols and begin to weave the tapestry of your spiritual truth. Remember the metaphor of the vessel that is only useful because it has empty space. Inner silence is not absence, but the womb of the invisible. It is the space that allows new wisdom to enter. The path of contemplation teaches us the opposite, the value of the pause. Cultivating this fertile silence allows synchronicity to manifest effortlessly. True spiritual mastery, however, does not reside only in silent listening or meditation. Inner transformation requires that we take the whispers of life, deciphered in silence, into the fabric of our choices and into our actions in daily life. Inner transformation happens when we stop only understanding the whispers and start applying them to life. The deciphered signs are not just for meditation, they are guides for making conscious choices. Krishnamurti reminds us that truth is a pathless land, free from religions. Your inner path is unique, and your spirituality must be free from ready-made formulas. Honoring the whispers of life is strengthening your relationships through greater awareness. It is living with the certainty that you are not alone, and that the universe listens to you through these subtle signs. Your personal development is the embrace of a life guided by subtle wisdom. This reconnection with the self is the emotional healing that manifests in ethical action. You are not broken, you are in transformation, and that is the only spiritual truth that matters. Inspirational conclusion. What if the feeling of disorientation you feel today was, in fact, the portal to alignment with the language of the soul you have always sought? To seal this journey of listening, I invite you to a simple internal ritual, a bridge between insight and the everyday. Sit comfortably. Visualize yourself as a mountain, unshakable, wise, and silent. No matter how the wind of doubt or the clouds of hurry pass, the center of the mountain remains still. Now, breathe deeply the mountain stability, and as you exhale, whisper to yourself, I pause, I listen, I am presence. Remain in this silent presence for another moment, honoring the kindness to the now and the silent wisdom that dwells in your chest. If something within you has settled or awakened upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to walk with us on this road of fertile silence, discovery, and reconnection. Share your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of healing for other hearts. And if you seek a safe haven to nurture this newly lit flame and find those who walk at the same frequency, our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. And to keep expanding your sanctuary of clarity, we suggest the video in the card. May it be a breath of fresh air, peace and light.